All right, everybody, welcome back to Pin High Philly, the Philadelphia Golf Show podcast. I'm Francesca Ruscio. It's still absolutely drafty, cold, icy, nasty. It's just still disgusting out. We're not really, I don't know, golf weather feels like it's yonder way, right, Mike? This is so effed, but hopefully. Wait, did Punxsutawney Phil, did he see a shadow or no? So that means more. That's so stupid. Ugh, all right, that little vermin. Regardless, though, we're making do with the situation right now here in Philly. So not a whole lot of Philly golf. So if you're hitting the simulator, I recommend it. I will be getting back into sim golf. Been dealing with a wrist injury, so hopefully within the next week or so. But who cares? I'm just so excited. First of all, before I introduce today's guest, if you haven't given Pin High Philly a follow on Instagram, be sure to do so at Pin High Philly, where we discuss all things and everything Philly golf related, and then some. So today's guest, this was probably, arguably, the most requested collab slash guest slash convo slash all the above. And I'm so excited that this individual is offering her time today with us here on our podcast. So today's guest is someone Philly knows very well, but maybe not like this. She's a Philly native, LaSalle grad, longtime broadcast journalist who's worked at NBC 10, Fox News, a little 6ABC, and now she's rewriting what women's golf looks and feels like as one half of Lemon Rose Golf. She's proof that you can love luxurious fabrics, still shoot in the 90s, and build something meaningful anyway. Jillian Mele, welcome to Pin High Philly. Really appreciate you taking the time today.
First of all, I was so excited when you asked me to come on here, but I was also so excited in Florida a few weeks ago when you passed by the Lemon Rose Golf booth at the PGA show. I was like, oh my gosh.
It's been a while.
50 years, even though we're not that old yet. But it felt like forever. You know, the broadcasting world is so small, but then everyone kind of goes off and does their thing, and you lose track and you lose touch, and you come back together and it's kind of like nothing has changed, even though it's been forever. So I was so excited to see
I know. And what's wild is I was actually thinking, because I had a feeling I knew Lemon Rose was going to be there. And I wanted to connect with anybody from the Philly area, vendor, content creator, business, just golf enthusiast altogether. What's crazy is I saw you. This was, I'm going to date myself. This was 2015, 2016. Which feels like last year. We were out and about in Center City, and I saw you very briefly. It was kind of like an event or of some sort, and there was other local journalists. You know, we were all like friends, mixing and mingling. We like knew of each other. I just recognized you because while I was getting my undergrad at Temple University for broadcast journalism, I think that was when you were on NBC 10. Yeah, you were on NBC 10 before Jessica Boyington. Were you before or after Jessica?
Before Jessica Boyington.
Okay.
2016-ish, I was at Comcast Sportsnet in Philadelphia before I went to New York.
Okay.
There were a lot of stops along the way. As you know, it's like you move around and you live out contracts. Sometimes you live out multiple contracts. Sometimes you're out after this contract. And so that was Comcast Sportsnet.
Got it. And then, we have so much to catch up on. But like when I saw you, you were there as a vendor for Lemon Rose with your partner. Her name's Kristen, right? Because I briefly talked to her, but you guys were swarmed. That was the one thing that I noticed. Yes, I believe it was both of our first times at the PGA show. Yep. Your booth per se, your booth area was swarmed and constantly like you were always talking to people. What was that experience like for you? Like being a first-time vendor?
It was so overwhelming. I mean, the whole experience was so overwhelming. It's so overwhelming to leave a career and to start a business, first of all. So like the last 3 years of my life have just been overwhelming. They've been amazing. They've been stressful. They've been financially hard. They've been financially exciting. It's literally like this roller coaster that you go on when you pivot in life. especially as an entrepreneur, especially as you build a business like we've been building with Lemon Rose. And so leading up to this, Lemon Rose Golf started September 18th of 2024 when I sent Kristen, who's one of my best friends from college.
She's great.
Also went to school to get her graduate degree in global fashion. So that's kind of where the fashion part of this comes in. Mm-hmm. I texted her that night and I was like, I have an idea. How about we design a line of women's golf apparel? So September 2024 up until the PGA show, January 2026, just a few weeks ago, like, I can't tell you how many times my head has exploded. I joke, I'm like, my head is like the 4th of July. Like, it's constantly just like, like thoughts everywhere, stress everywhere, this, that, you name it. It's my energy is like, like I'm always like wound up because there's so much happening. But up to the PGA show, we had to build a booth. And we selected a 10 by 10 area that was the smallest that they offer because we're a broke startup and that's what we can afford. And we didn't know the first thing about it. Like, they give you all these specifications and I'm like, but I'm confused. I want to make sure I'm doing this right. Mm-hmm. And I had a death in my family in the fall and my dad was supposed to build our booth. And so the booth just went by the wayside. So it was like mid-December and I'm like, what are we doing for the PGA show in like 4 weeks? And so one of our very kind investors who doesn't like to be named for things. He has a construction company and he's like, let me help you. So he helped us build this. And you saw the booth. I mean, it was giant.
It was gorgeous.
It was beautiful. I mean, I think we did it really well, but we got there and like, things weren't fitting and we're like, oh my gosh. And then the building had to get involved and it was this whole thing. And I'm like, are we going to make it? Like, so day one, we're like, okay, the booth made it. The booth is set up. Everything's good to go. However, we started this new concept. We have these designs that are very different than anything that's out there. Are people going to like them? Are they going to latch onto them? Are they going to look at them and think you're crazy? I mean, Francesca, you saw like this collar that I'm wearing.
This is cute, by the way. I love this. Yes, so it's so gorgeous.
Collar wouldn't be gray; it would be white normally. But so it unsnaps. I'll just unsnap it for you, so you can wear that. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say this is okay. So this little, first off, the place was swarmed with a variety of clothing, and after a while, it all starts to look the same. And then you're wondering what's the one thing that makes this vendor stand out or this one startup business that stand out. And even I was looking at Ralph Lauren was there. Their stuff looked like everybody else's. Yep. I would say the reason why you got the amount of traction that you did is because you have something unique and also your product is very feminine looking. Yeah. I can see a 16-year-old in playing high school golf wear your clothing. I could wear your clothing. 40-year-old, 50-year-old, 80-year-old could wear your clothing. The collar feature is so important because also when you walk up to a country club, sometimes it's a requirement to wear a collar. Yes. But a lot of that kind of clothing isn't always that fashionable and it all starts to look the same. I think you tapped into something incredibly unique.
Thank you.
I love this. Yeah, and it looks good with it and without it too.
So yeah. Yeah. A mock neck. And so we were like, are people gonna like this? Like, is this gonna be a thing that takes like we had no idea. And so we're nervous, right? We're like, oh my gosh. And so we have a bunch of these colors that we had handmade in India.
Look at that. Yeah.
They literally got to us like 3 days before the PGA show.
I'm cracking up.
So we have some with studs, we have some with jewels, we have some that'll be very limited edition, like a full-on pearl.
Oh, I love that one. Look at that. Oh, that's gorgeous. You have
the plain that you can golf in. That
cute.
Matches the shirt.
That is cute.
It's just a little piping, you know. Just put it on.
Yeah.
And so we're nervous. We're like, what are people going to think of this crazy idea? Like, jewels on a golf course? Like, is this the thing that's going to work? And we're like, we don't expect people to wear the jewels on the golf course, but it's a way to dress up your look, transition from golf to cocktails, whatever. And so we had no idea what to expect, but it was overwhelming in the best way possible. Like you said, the booth was busy and we were just like, oh my gosh, like we did it. Like we did
Yeah,
it.
you guys had a lot going on. You had, I mean, and plus two, wherever I went, and at that point, I just kept meeting so many people. I was telling people to go and check out Lemon Rose, Philly represent, got to support. And they said, "What's that? What's Lemon Rose?" And the one conversation, now being obviously, because you and I, we've been in the game of golf, the one key component that a lot of, I guess, girl golfers is fit, fashion, the bedazzlement. Hey, I actually like had this thought last night that I want to bedazzle my alignment sticks. We're getting there. We're getting there. We want true feminization
Mhm.
of product, and quality is there. So but while we discuss that, I want to ask you, what's the story behind Lemon Rose? The name is so unique. It's really it sounds luxurious and I don't
Thank you.
know, powerful in a way. I want to know, lay it all out, girl. The story behind Lemon Rose.
And it's a story. So
I've got time. I have so many time. I have so much time, and you guys back at home have time too. So tune up and listen in. Go ahead.
it's a story. So, uh, okay, we had a name that was a name. I know. I'm like, where do I begin this story? We had a name that was a different name,
Okay.
and we loved it for like the first probably 5 or 6 months. Loved the name, and nobody close to us, family, best friends, no one told us that the name was awful. Like no one was honest with us. But it was an awful name. We don't even talk about it anymore. It was so bad.
Can I
And
ask what
so
it is? What was it?
we don't talk about it.
Okay, fine.
It's
We won't talk about it.
in the closet with all the skeletons, you know.
He should who shall not be named. Got it. Okay.
And
Got it.
so we had this name and we started telling a few people. Like early on, we had people, anyone we'd have conversations with, especially about the colors, we had to have them sign an NDA. This is patent pending. So like we did all of our homework, all of our preparation. And so we'd start telling people the name and they'd be like, oh my God, your concept is so cool. And we tell them the name and they're like, huh. And so one day Kristen and I were on a very long Zoom call with an unnamed person for about 3 hours involved in this process. And the call was so long. And when you're just like staring at the computer for that long, you're like, oh my gosh, my eyes are like crossing, like I'm seeing spots. Like I need a break. So I went into my kitchen, took a deep breath, and I just out the corner of my eye, I saw a bottle of rosé, and I was like, it seems time, because it was like 5 o'clock at this point. So we get off the call, and as we're getting off the call, I come into my office and I put down 2 glasses, one in front of me, one in front of Kristen, and I'm like, Kristen, here's your pink lemonade, because I didn't want to like make it known that we were going to start having some rosé at the end of this call. And so she sips it and she's like, that is not pink lemonade.
I'm cracking up. This must have been a crazy, like long, call.
It was.
Shoot.
And
Wow.
so pink lemonade stuck. Like we just started joking and we started calling rosé pink lemonade. And so midway through the summer of 2025, we're at this event for the LPGA ShopRite Classic, the Pro-Am. We were playing media day, I think, or we were playing in the Pro-Am. And that night we wore a hot pink and a hot yellow dress. In TV, you wear all those bright dresses.
Oh yeah.
We wore these hot, like highlighter color dresses to this event.
I'm so proud of you girls for doing that. That's fantastic. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Room to everyone who's wearing like navy, black, gray. And it was like Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. Like a pin could have dropped and you heard it because we were highlighter dresses. So we're in Atlantic City and I'm like, Kristen, what are we dressed as tonight? She's like, pink lemonade. And this wasn't on purpose. I'm like, pink lemonade will not vacate our lives. How are we saying pink lemonade another way? So at the Hard Rock Hotel in Atlantic City, we wrote down pink lemonade on the notepad. We wrote down, I said, how else can we say this? We wrote down rosy gold, and then we wrote down lemon rose. And it stuck. It's like not the sweet story everyone thinks it is.
Nope. Bravo. But also kudos to you for having that creative, heightened awareness to stick with what was ironically working for you in that moment. And then now it manifested into what it is today, Lemon Rose.
Yeah.
So you're building this with your best friend. So what's harder, designing clothes together or having hard business conversations together? What have you two learned about each other in this process?
having hard business conversations with anybody is really hard. I mean, that's, I just think in general that is. And especially when you're best friends, because you want to be respectful, you want to be delicate, like you want to appreciate each other and also appreciate each other's perspective and backgrounds. Like we come with different backgrounds. I come with the broadcast journalism background. I come with the storytelling background, sort of that marketing background. I come with just getting my MBA, graduating in 2024. So I come with a little bit of that business background. She comes with a full on fashion background. Like fashion is her love. She is good at it. She is a stylist. She can put outfits together. I'm like, that would look horrible on me. And somehow you look like you're walking the runway. Like it's amazing what she can do. Wow. So that aspect of it is not a problem. We actually have very similar styles with fashion. Pretty much all of our first collection, it's like a 50-50 split on this idea came from my brain, this idea came from your brain. We collaborated together on them. Like we have one skirt and one quarter zip top that have like soft, delicate ruffles on them. And when we started sketching in the fall of 2024, we would sketch at night individually. And then each week we'd meet up and we'd show each other what we had in mind in our designs. And there was one week I was like, Kristen, I have this idea for this quarter zip and it's got ruffles down the zipper. And she was like, oh my gosh, I have a skirt that I drew with ruffles on the bottom. And I'm like,
wow,
this is an energy. Like, great. And that's how it is constantly. Like with all of these collars that we have, all of our colors, like we are 100% on the same page with the design. So I think the hardest part to sort of circle back and answer your question is sometimes we'll catch ourselves saying, I need you to put on your friend hat. I need you to put on your business partner hat because I need advice as a friend or I need this as a business partner. And so it's kind of balancing those two things. But truthfully, it's not even that hard. It's just an adjustment.
No, that just sounds like a highly functional professional marriage, basically. Yeah, like that's it's amazing, in a way you lean on your own on the things that make you different, but also you're trusting each other with your individual strengths.
Yep.
And to me, that's such a great foundation for success. Plus, too, I mean, the clothing is gorgeous. What's one misconception do you think people have about launching a fashion brand?
Oh, let's see. That's a good question. I'm trying to think of a misconception that I had because this is something new for me. I mean, I've never done this and I didn't know where to begin. It's a lot harder than I expected it to be. It takes a lot more time than I expected it to, and it's a lot more expensive than I really thought. Like you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars for a first purchase order that, gives you limited inventory.
Right.
And that's, you're an unknown at that point. Like I feel like I'm lucky because I have a base and an audience that has followed me through the years of my broadcasting career. But I think people out there who want to start something and maybe aren't as fortunate to have that base or have that audience, it's really hard. Like it's been really hard for us and it's really hard. I think the misconception would be that it's just easier than it really is.
That's so fair.
Tariffs that we're dealing with from our fabric that's being imported from overseas. Like our line is made in the USA because I mean, we're proud of that. At some point we'll have to transition to overseas because it's simply not cost effective in the States. It's just not, even though I would love for it to be. But with the tariffs, with all the delays at customs we've seen this year, like there's been a lot going on that sort of made us pivot with that decision. But I mean, the amount of money that we're spending in tariffs alone, it makes you want to like vomit, honestly, because it's so expensive. And so I did not know going into this truly how much this was going to cost. And it's crazy.
You have the marketing leverage too. Your background, I feel like you could play into the strengths of your background in broadcasting journalism as well. And even with those, I guess with those advantages, you're still, I guess, enduring the same complications or hurdles that any other startup without a platform has too. That's incredible. That's incredible. Yeah. I want to know because I love your content.
Thank you.
You have been promoting lemon rose as something that women can feel confident and beautiful in, not only on the golf course, but also at a 5 o'clock happy hour as well, or just being out and about. How crazy is it when you're out and about, somebody compliments you on what you're wearing, and you go, I designed it. It's me.
I know what reel you're referencing. So this happened just last weekend. I was emceeing. My boyfriend is the head coach of LaSalle University's baseball team, and I went to LaSalle University, as did Kristen. I went there twice. And so I was emceeing this banquet for his baseball team. And I wore one of my tops. Kristen wore one of our tops. And the second I got there, the first thing I was like, oh, I need to find the restroom. And so I'm in the restroom, and this woman's like, I just got to say, I love your shirt. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, I couldn't even control myself. I was just like, oh my God, thank you.
I designed it. I made it. That is so
that was
cute.
really my reaction because I was so proud and I was so excited. Right. And it's really cool. I think it'll be more, I think it'll be cooler when other people are wearing it and I can, if I'm out and someone is wearing lemon rose and I'm like, oh my gosh, like that looks so good on you. Like, I love that.
I mean, it's bound to happen. It's going to happen. I want to, yeah, no, I have full hope. Like, I have high hopes for this, and I'm here to support in any way that I can. And I'll tell you this, like, after being exposed to all the clothing that I saw at the PGA show, and I'm going to keep referencing the PGA show because that's the standard for innovation. You're seeing old brands doing their thing, new brands doing new things. And after a while, everything just started to look the same. And I found myself wandering in the direction of your booth that looked incredible. The whole thing looked incredible. And I know you were talking about the stress of getting that thing going and involving the show and the communication. The thing is, indirectly, you're creating buzz around lemon rose. And that's kind of like it's the little secret sauce with reputation, with content, with anything and everything. And I just want to say it stood out to me. Your brand stood out. I'm going to say, Jay Lindbergh's stuff stood out. Their stuff's like okay looking, but the quality of the fabrics is what made it stand out.
Yep.
But after a while, there's so many other content creators that are doing fashion brands right now. And I just want to know, with the background that you have, and you say that you've been playing the game for quite some time now, how did you land on wanting to do a golf clothing brand that specifically? Like, I got to know that.
So Kristen and I, over the years when I was in television, I would say to her, I'm like, Kristen, you're my most fashionable friend. Like, you went to school for this. Can we create a line of dresses? Because I need to find more that I can wear on air that I like, or can we create a line of jackets? Like, I at one point sketched like 10 different like blazers or jackets. I'm like, I would love to wear these.
Cute.
I've always had that like a little bit of creativity in me where fashion is concerned. I never gave it any real relevancy in my life. Like, it was always, oh, that would be cool to do one day, right? Not thinking that one day would come, because as far as I was concerned, as of 3 years ago, I was going to be a lifer in the media. Like, I didn't plan on leaving when I did. Like, I always say to people, I'm like, you hear that phrase, like, have your ducks in a row?
Yes.
I'm like, I didn't have a duck a mile away. I couldn't hear a duck. I couldn't see a duck. There was no duck.
I don't even have a duck in my pond right now. We're just in limbo right now.
And I needed to do something else. Like, I felt it. I ignored the feeling for a while, and it started to wake me up in the middle of the night, and I started to wake up with like anxiety, like panic attacks in the middle of the night. And like, I have to be the one to make a change for my life. And so even at that point though, getting into like fashion or design, anything wasn't even a thought. Okay. But I golfed. And so I've been playing about 12 years. But I would play, I mean, I kid you not, like 3 times a year. Like, when you work in the media, especially in national news, like, you're busy. Like, you're traveling to different stories, covering breaking news. I was in New York. Like, I just wasn't getting a chance to really play as much as I would have liked. But after I left my career and pivoted, I started to find I really enjoyed it more than I ever knew I did. And suddenly I had the time to play more. And I've always played with my dad or with my uncles, my grandfather. Kristen's my only like girlfriend who plays. And so once I started playing more, I was like, dang, there needs to be better clothing.
Ah,
There really
yeah.
better stuff out here. And I was like, huh, how would I even start this? Like, this is probably an adorable pipe dream. And when I texted Kristen that September of 2024, she was like, yeah, let's do it. And we started sketching that night and we started having weekly meetings. Even then, both of us didn't take it super seriously until like a few months later when all of a sudden we were like, oh, we have something here.
Yeah.
We have an idea. We can figure this out. We started interviewing manufacturers. We started having meetings. We got our LLC formed, like we got a bank account. And before you know it, we have a business. And we were like, oh, okay, I guess we're doing this.
I guess we're doing this. No, I love that. I think this is a really, and that what you just said inspired this question. We all have ideas. We're all operating in that creative, I can't sleep, limbo, flow state, right? We want our ideas to be validated. The next step after you have the idea, how do you discern which direction you take with who do you talk to about this? Okay, like now I've got the idea. We're laying out the sketches. How the hell do you go about finding the right, quote unquote, right person to talk to next about Lemon Rose?
It,
What was that process like?
it's people you trust, you know, and you know this better than anyone, especially from time in the media.
Girl.
Like there are few people you can really trust.
Yeah.
And I leaned on those people. And I'll tell you, like it's been interesting along the way because there are people when you do something big like this, and I say big because it's a huge pivot in life. It's a totally betting on yourself. It's a giving up all financial salary that you've been comfortable with that you've had. You know, it's going an entirely different way in life. So it's big in that sense. When you do something like this, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but I've
Try
been
me.
surprised by who has or who has not reached out to offer help, to wish luck, to
Mm.
uh,
Mhm.
people you think would, don't, people you think wouldn't do. And it opens your eyes. Like I've always been that person that's kept myself guarded. It takes a lot for me to like I don't go out in the social circles anymore. I did early in my TV career, but I started protecting myself a very long time ago. And I did the same with this. And Kristen was a stay-at-home mom for the last, 7 or so years. And so she hasn't been entrenched in the business world like I have been as of late. And that was a bit of a learning curve for her. Like the whole having people sign NDAs to even talk about our designs, to even see if they'd be interested in investing. We had to get investors early on. And we had to find people that we could have these conversations with that we trusted that would sign the NDA,
Right.
that would then believe in us and in what we're doing, in our designs, in our concept. And it was really, really hard to do. So my head was on a swivel for ever and ever and ever with this, it seems like, because having the right conversations with the right people and not sharing too much and not trusting the wrong people is very hard.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you have something like this where we knew we were going to apply for a patent. Whether or not it's approved, don't know until you know, but we needed to protect everything we had and keep it close to the vest, and we did that.
I
There's a
know
lot
too well.
there.
I know. No, there's a lot to unpack there. Have you been getting, and I know this, obviously, this venture keeps you busy. What's
Yeah.
been the support of yours/ours journalism community?
I mean, it's been what you would, I guess, expect, or maybe
Sure.
not. The news outlets that I've worked for, they wouldn't cover this. Like, it's not news. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I wouldn't expect like the places that I've worked to be like, hey, we want to do a story on you.
Or
Um,
kind of like just like from your colleagues,
no, they've
just
been
reaching out.
supportive, like
Okay.
super, super supportive. The people who I would expect to be supportive in that sense. But
That
I've been
makes me happy.
surprised because I mean, there have been people who have found us, and I'm like, how did you find us? And they want to do an article about us. They want to do a story about us. So they want to put us in this or that. And I'm like, okay, like this is great, thank you, but how did you find us?
I mean, you're the Jillian Mele. You're Jillian. You're Jillian. And people want to look. What I've learned about Philly, and I spent 7 years in Los Angeles learning the art of storytelling, film production. I just came back. What I learned about Philly, you go to New York, you go to whatever market, you come back, it's like those who they clung on to you. They got to know you through media. They will still like it's like they're picking up where they left off. It's like that old friend who you don't really talk to in like over a decade, and then all of a sudden you see them and you pick up right where you left off. In a way, that's Philly, and they just clung on to you for you're such a likable and you're so beautiful. You're such a beautiful person inside and out. And when you started to put out there your brand, your passion, they're gonna say, "Oh, I'm gonna back her up." Do I play golf? No. Do I care for women's clothing? No. But do I like Jillian? Yeah, I like Jillian. They're going to support you. That's why I love Philly. And there's something to be said about that. When you're out and about in the community, are people remembering you as the journalist or, hey, oh, you're doing Lemon Rose now. Oh, I follow you. What's the latest feedback right now that you're getting from
It's
supporters within the Philly community?
It's both. It's I miss you on TV, but I love what you're doing now. It's
See?
literally that conversation. I'm like, I haven't been on TV in like 3 years. Yet people are still like, and I'm like, oh, thank you so much. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a very private, quiet person. Like I said, I've always kind of kept my guard up. I've always been someone who sort of keeps to myself, even when I might be out in a social setting. I'm
Right.
very quiet. Like I'm a very shy, quiet person, and people don't always know that about me, but I am. And this, there's so much of this that even makes me a little bit uncomfortable. Like
Sure. Oh,
when
yeah.
I left the media 3 years ago, I had to figure out how to reinvent myself. And I didn't know what that looked like for myself. I didn't know what that looked like online. I've tried things, I've done things that I've been uncomfortable doing or that maybe wasn't the right fit. But as an entrepreneur, and when you pivot in life, if you don't try, then you're not going to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm going to join in your uncomfortability too right now. Like podcasting, what? I mean, I
No,
thought it's crazy. Like what are we doing here? We're in a flow state. We're just going along with it and people like it. It's this community. And I owe my journey to the Philly community and I know you do the same. And mind you, leaving broadcast journalism is not a small leap. I took that leap back in 2016 for other markets to move to Los Angeles. What scared you the most about walking away? Because that probably, I mean, it wasn't easy for me. And I know some people kind of want to know about that too. Like, what was that like when you took that leap from Fox over to Six and now this? It's not
so
easy.
it's not. And when I left Fox, when I left national news,
Yeah.
that was when I was there and I loved it there. That was like my favorite place I ever worked. The people honestly are the reason why I just made that statement. The people there are fantastic. Like some of the finest people I've ever met in all of my career work there. And I have so much respect and love for them. But I just like the politics of it wasn't for me. Like political news, it just isn't my thing. Like, and that's okay, but when I was considering leaving there, I was having open and honest conversations with my bosses and I'd go home and I'm like, am I crazy? Like here's a job that people in this industry would kill for,
Kill
and
for. Like,
like
kill for. Yeah.
and I'm just gonna walk away. Like they offered me another contract to stay. And I'm just gonna leave. Like I made it to the top of this business that I've worked in my whole career and I'm just gonna leave. Am I bat-ish crazy? For lack of, not saying on here. Am I that crazy? And I did. And so I came back home and I'm like, let me come home, let me kind of reset. I was like, I'm not ready to give up the news yet. I wanted to give local another try just to see like if I was happier maybe outside of the political sphere, but there's nowhere in news outside of the political sphere.
Mm-mm.
And
Everything
that's
is
what I learned. There's just not. And so when I decided to leave it, the thing that scared me the most was two things. One, figuring out that new identity, because like I said, I didn't even have a duck in sight. And so I didn't really know what I was going to do or what I wanted to do. And the financials, I mean, I didn't have a millions of dollars contract when I was working national news. I wasn't one of those people. In news, you don't always make what people think you make. And
so true. So
I
true.
did okay. I'm not gonna, sit here and say I didn't. I did okay, but I
Right.
didn't what a lot of people thought I made.
Hmm.
And so I was very stressed financially. Like, am I going to be able to do this? And it's been a very difficult few years. Like, right now, I'm not getting paid. And it's very hard because we have investors in Lemon Rose Golf. And when you have people putting their money in to believe in you, like, you're not just going to take it for yourself. So I have little like communication jobs that I'll do on the side or speaking engagements and things. And that's how I support myself. And
Which
that's
is
how I
so smart. It's so smart to do that. Like I said, at the top of the interview, you lean into your strengths even when it's not presently like you don't think it's working out for you, but every little step that you do, you're constantly moving forward though, is what I'm gathering. You're
yeah,
still taking baby steps forward. You're not taking any steps backwards. Mm-mm.
right. So yeah, so
Yeah.
those were the two, I guess, hardest fears, most difficult fears that I had.
Um, for women listening who feel boxed, I guess, in a version of themselves that no longer fits, what would you tell them?
I would say, you know, I felt that way for a long time. Like even when I was in national TV, even when I was on air in Philadelphia, there was something inside of me that always lacked a confidence. There was something inside of me that never felt right. I actually like I get emotional when I talk about this because
Let
from the
it out.
outside looking in,
Mhm.
you would think I had it all, right? And I'm not saying I didn't have a great opportunity. I did. I'm so grateful for my career, but I wasn't happy. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know the first thing. I didn't know that I could pivot in life. It wasn't until I worked up the courage to actually listen to what my body was trying to tell me and then sit with it. I sat with that for years. It wasn't until I sat with that and then I was like, okay, I think I can do something about this. So,
Mhm.
what I would say is listen to yourself. Like I started journaling a lot. Like at some point, I'm going to put out a book. At some point, I don't have time right now, but I journaled a lot of what I was feeling, of what I was going through. And it really helped me to sort of narrow down those feelings and figure out what to do about it. But if you just push what you're feeling aside,
Mhm.
I don't know why my computer does that. By the way, for those listening, it just like gave me a thumbs up.
It likes what you're saying.
Does it? It's Mac. I don't know. But so I would say, no, I got distracted.
You started
Don't,
journaling. You don't have time to write a book, is what
don't
we know.
decide. Like, allow yourself to feel what you're feeling and figure out what it means for you. And
Mhm.
then figure out where you go from there. Because the thing that I ended up coming down to was I can sit here as I've done for years and wait for my life to change on its own,
Mhm.
or I can make it change. I can be the one to make it change. And that was a really hard thing to do. But the second I realized that, the second I was like, I'm not going to sit here anymore and wait for this.
Mm.
There's one of my favorite quotes. It's unknown, but it goes, each day you're presented with two choices, evolve or repeat. It's really that
Ooh.
it's
Ooh.
really that simple. And the second I realized that I don't want to repeat the same thing I've been doing for years and years and years was the second I was like, okay, this is up to me. This is up to me. And it was hard and it was scary and it's still hard and it's stressful. It's still stressful. It's all the things, but I'm so proud of myself. And that's the other thing I would share with people is like, figure out what you want out of life. Like at the end of my life, I want to be one of those people who can say, I bet on myself. Like I tried that no matter how successful it is or isn't. I tried that. And guess what?
Yeah.
For the rest of my life, I can say that now.
For somebody who says that they keep to themselves, I just want to say I really appreciate you being vulnerable
Thank you.
like that and answering that question, not like, rather candidly. So I really appreciate that. Switching gears, what is next for Lemon Rose for 2026?
So we are going to start taking pre-sales, pre-orders on our website in the next month or so.
Okay.
We're working day and night right now to get all of that up and running on the website, all the back end work, Shopify and everything, the things I knew nothing about as of 6 months ago.
Yeah, you're laying down your bricks on
Yeah,
the train already left the station. You're just laying the
yeah,
bricks down. It's all
yeah.
good. It's
And
all
then
good.
we'll have inventory this spring,
Okay.
and we will have more stuff coming out at some point for the fall. Probably not a super large collection. First year broke startup, you do what you can do.
Do what you can do.
So,
What
but we will have more stuff.
what is the website for people who are listening instead of watching?
LemonRoseGolf.com.
I love it. We're gonna do a quick little rapid fire
Okay.
and just change it up a little bit. I'm gonna ask you a couple questions,
Okay.
and you're going to rapidly give me your answer. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. First tee nerves or first TV hit nerves?
First TV hit nerves.
TV. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I can definitely speak to that one. I love it. Philly public. This one could be political. I know you and I are not really fans of politics here, but Philly public golf or private country club energy?
Ooh, I can't say both.
Okay. You could say, okay, both is safe.
You know what? There's certain of each that I really like, and there's
Yeah.
certain of each that I really don't like.
Yes, that's fair. That's very valid. Like for example, I you know what? No. Well, maybe we could talk about that over a drink off the pot. Okay. This is good. Okay, next question. One golf rule you'd absolutely rewrite.
Oh, whoa. One golf rule that I would rewrite. I feel like you should get, I don't even know if this is an actual rule, but I would like a gimme on like the front nine and the back nine.
That's great. That I would like a gimme too. Yeah. They got to wear lemon rose first.
I would like that because I don't know. I feel like back then I tend to get a little tired then sometimes, and I'm like, I could just
Same.
use that mulligan right now.
I know. No, seriously, same. No, that's true. A good mulligan for the back nine. Okay. One Philly stereotype that's painfully accurate.
I don't know, actually. I don't pay attention to any of that stuff. I think that the accent, it's not like a stereotype, I guess, but the
Right.
accent is it's legit. I don't think I do it. I know I have words where it comes out, but overall as a vocabulary, I don't think I'm super hard Philly, but I'd say it's legit. I can pick that up from other places.
Did anybody ever at like Fox or in your other, I guess, journalism ventures or markets you worked in, did they ever say, "Oh, you got a Philly accent there"? Because
A
sometimes it just slips out from me,
word.
like those little words.
Words. But I would also
Yeah.
say the passion of the sports fans, I know people rag on it and hate it, but I love it. Like
Same.
I love it.
We're just dirty beasts out there with I mean, when I found out that we egged so messed up. And I would arguably say I'm pretty cool with Buffalo Bills fans because we're just such kindred spirits in that regard. Like they're just as crazy and dumb as we are. You know? I agree with that. Next question. Your go-to lemon rose piece when you want confidence.
It's this shirt. So for those listening, not watching, I'm wearing it's a mock neck, high neck shirt, and it's called the Ruby. And this
Ruby.
is our collars out in. And so because it can go with any mood, any collar, any style. I like that.
I like that too.
And it's like form fitted. We have 2 fits. We have a form fitted and a relaxed fit, but I like the form fitted.
And last question, news desk glam or golf course realness?
I still glam on the golf course.
Same, same.
I don't glam. I don't glam like I did on TV on the golf course.
No.
Okay, so and I know this is rapid fire, but there's a story behind this.
I love
So
the story. Just go. We got
yeah,
time.
this podcast is gonna be like 17 hours long. People are gonna be
Great.
like, my
That's
days
fine.
over now.
Great.
Years ago when my grandmother was alive, my mom's mom, I said, Mom, I'm like, I noticed you always, do your hair and your makeup every day and you always dress nice. I'm like, even if you're just going to like 7-Eleven, why? And she
Mhm.
said, Jillian, this is the face that I choose to put out into the world. And this
Yeah.
is how I want to be received. And I was like,
Yeah.
I love that. Like it actually turned my perspective on like
Mhm.
going out with, unbrushed hair, no makeup, leggings and stuff. At the bare minimum, I'm putting on some kind of like,
Mhm.
tinted moisturizer and mascara or something. Like I'm putting myself together. And so going out on the golf course, I do wear makeup
Me
because
too. Even when
I
it's hot.
I
Yes.
do. And
Yes.
there have been a number of times over the years, especially early on,
Yeah.
like when I was on national news and I post random golf shots, videos. I'd have people say, like, why do you wear makeup on the golf course? I'm like, because
Oh, they're haters. Oh, they're
it's
haters.
how I want to look. It's
Yeah.
how I feel good about myself. Why does it bother you?
And you just never know who you're going to run into. And I'm trying to tap into that energy when I'm out at the airport, just checking into my flight. I want to look really good. You're never know who you're going to run into. And
Yeah.
I've got a story too on our way to the PGA show.
Oh,
I'm checking into my flight. I look decent. I did the very, the hair looked good. I had very minimal makeup on. My skin looked great. Like when my skin's great, that's my number one confidence builder because I always had really bad acne growing up. But as I'm
really?
checking, oh yeah, oh my God, oh yeah, the worst acne. And as I'm checking into my flight, I hear Francesca,
Uh,
Francesca, and my heart sank. I'm like, who? It's like 5 in the morning. And I look up, there's like this dude, like this big dude with like a hoodie. And then he flips the hoodie up. He goes, it's Saquon. It was Saquon Barkley. So I'm just like, oh man, you just never know. And he was on his way to go play golf,
yeah.
because it's the off season.
Yep.
But that was like, I'll go, okay. You never know who you're gonna run into. Always show up and look your best. And I think that instead of golf course realness, it is golf course glam. And I think that that's how we can feminize this game that was originally designed for men.
I
So
agree. Can I tell you one more story about the whole
please.
not
Yeah, girl.
planned and then having someone recognize you in like the worst moment of your life? So
Go for it. Go for it.
on
Yes.
the PGA show,
Okay.
Kristen and I drove down there. We rented a big Wagoneer and drove down there. We had
Which
a
is insane to begin with. That's
I
insane.
haven't posted all that content yet because,
I'm
again,
glad you guys love each other that much because that's crazy.
so that drive down was nuts. So we left Philly like in the afternoon on that Thursday, I want to say, like
Okay.
before the PGA show. Stopped in Reston, Virginia to see one of my best friends, Julie, to tell her and show her the piece that we named after her. So all of our pieces in our collection are named something after women that have, an important aspect in our lives. Moms, Kristen's daughter, best friends, things like that. So we wanted to show Julie. So we stopped in Virginia, showed her, had dinner with her and her husband, and then continued on the road. Drove to Williamsburg, Virginia that night, ended up getting to this hotel at like midnight. And we got in, we're like, we deserve a glass of wine. So we open a bottle of wine and we drink the bottle of wine. We're having the time of our life. Like we're
Yeah.
painting my nails, like we're just telling stories, we're joking, girlfriends, like just best friends.
I'm just seeing a recurring theme here with wine and the rosé.
So it's well, you know what? We open a second bottle of wine and we're both like, this is a bad idea, but we're gonna do it anyway. And so we were up drinking wine until 4:30 that morning. Like I haven't seen 4:30 in the morning since I was in the news and up working at 4:30 in the morning. Like
Yeah.
I'm in bed. I'm like a grandma. I'm like 10 p.m. Like I'm tired. I'm asleep. Like I want nothing to do with being up late ever. 4:30 in the morning. So that next morning we wake up.
You
and we're
rebel,
like,
you.
I know.
You're such a rebel.
We wake up and we're like, holy cow, we have to get on the road. We wanted to get to Savannah, Georgia by the end of the day.
Okay.
Kristen started driving. I'm a cat with 9 lives on this trip. I literally died in that car. Like I was hungover and I was like, I can't function. Like I don't know if I need to like pass out. I don't know what I need, but I can't function. And we're supposed to drive like 10 hours today.
Who's a better driver, you or Kristen?
How am I going to do this? I'm more of an adventurous driver.
Okay.
So hours go by. Kristen's still driving, and I'm like, Kristen, I need to get an IV. Like I go to this place called City Hydration in Wayne, and I'll get one of those like vitamin packed IVs when I'm getting sick or take a big flight, a trip. I'm like, I need vitamins. Like I need hydration. Like I need an IV. And so I'm like literally Googling, I'm like, we're on a highway, North Carolina. I'm like, Kristen, there's a place like 20 minutes away from here.
Oh God.
We get off the highway and we go. And it was this beautiful place and they were wonderful. Got this IV.
What were you wearing? How did you look? What were you wearing when you were going in?
Again, like I died in the car. So I had no makeup on. I was in like pajamas basically. Like I was like that, like I was like crippled in the car, like I can't even move. And so we go get this IV. And while we're there, we're like, let's see if there's a tanning salon nearby because we were going to the PGA show. And
these side quests, man. Oh my gosh.
We're in Philadelphia and I am see-through. Like that's how pale I am. And so we find this tanning place. We go tanning, we get our IV, we get back on the highway. I don't know what happened. I don't know what was in that IV, but the energy this thing gave me, like we bypassed every stop we wanted to make. I drove for like 6 hours straight. Again, this is after being like really hungover in the car that morning. I drove like 6 hours straight, but I looked like death. Like I looked horrible, like horrible. And so we're driving through somewhere in Georgia and it's like midnight. And all of a sudden, Kristen's asleep in the car.
All sounds like a horror movie, honestly. Chill.
I see the car like on the side of the road, and I'm like, I'm getting pulled over. I'm getting pulled over. And she wakes up and she's like, no, you're not. I'm like, no, I'm getting pulled over. I'm like, lights go on. She's like, you're getting pulled over. And I'm like, oh, I didn't tell you. I was going like XXX miles per hour,
Oh my
5
gosh.
So I have no idea how much they clocked me at. So I pull over and the cop walks up to the, window. Before he could say anything, I was like, officer, I'm so sorry I was speeding. Cause like for that minute before he walked up to the window, I'm like, how am I dealing with this? And I was like, I'm just not. Like I was speeding. I'm sorry, And he's like, do you know how fast you were going? I said, fast. And he's like, yes. He's like, you were going 70. And I was like, it's not as bad as I was going before that. Okay, I'm sorry. Like I was, yes, I was. I admit it. So he's like, license and registration. I'm like, it's 8 minutes to find because this car is like a disaster. There's stuff everywhere. I'm like,
oh Jesus,
I don't know where it is right now, officer. I'm like, do I have permission to like look through some of these bags? And he's like, sure. So I'm like, Kristen, I need you to help me find my license.
Poor Kristen.
Find my license, give it to him. He's like, are you ladies like moving? And we're like, no, here's what we're doing.
Oh, we just left the PGA show. Oh God.
We're really excited. And he's like, okay. So he goes to his car, comes back, gives me my license back. And I was like, what's the damage? He's like, I'm going to give you a warning.
Oh, you got out of a ticket.
He's like, slow down and good luck at the PGA show. And we're like, thank you. But he recognized me from when I was on national news. So
yeah. You got out of a speeding ticket.
Like I looked like the worst I've ever looked in my life. Ever.
Oh my God.
I was beyond hungover and exhausted.
Oh my God.
And here I am getting pulled over at midnight after this long day. And then he gave me this burst of energy and I looked the worst I've ever worst. And here he is recognizing me. And I was like,
you got out of the ticket though.
Not how I want to be recognized.
Oh too, for added context, not only you said you felt hungover, but mind you, we were standing the entire time too,
Yeah.
like at the PGA show. Like my back, I'm still physically recovering from all the standing and walking that I did. That
Yes.
is hilarious. Of course you got out of a speeding ticket. Like, of course. I just want to channel that energy for this year for myself.
I didn't try to fight it. I was just like, I'm sorry, I was speeding. Like I admitted I was. And he was like,
Oh
yeah,
my
you
God.
were.
Do you
And I
like
just think
do
that's
you
the way to
cry? Do you cry when you get pulled over by I cry. I just start crying. I'm just so scared.
when I was young, I would, but not like that's why I was just like, I'm sorry. Like if I just feel
Yeah,
like when you just own up to it, people have a better reaction versus trying to be defensive. And you know,
right.
I was like, I was speeding. You caught me.
Caught me. I was speeding. Yeah, just, looking like the way that I'm looking, but you still got out of
I
the
looked
speeding
like a troll.
ticket.
I looked like a troll. Like it was bad.
Come
Anyway,
on, you could never look like a troll. You could
I
never look like a troll.
after
Um,
to this
yeah.
episode now, people have a very different idea of me, I feel like.
This is content. This is freaking content gold, man. I just can't I just can't thank you enough. This was I think this was my favorite interview. Mike, was this your favorite interview? Yeah, he's nodding his head. Yeah. So I just can't thank you enough. And so it's lemonrosegolf.com for
Yeah,
those who are keeping tabs with Jillian. You're on social media. What is your also too? You can say your IG handle too, so people can follow you.
really.
Yeah, it's just it's Jillian Mele, guys. I just want to say thank you so much for coming on with your awesomeness, your candidness, your realness. The fashion line is gorgeous. We're so excited for what's to come for Lemon Rose Golf with you and Kristen
Thank you.
for 2026. I will also, let me know because I did see some things that I liked, actually that I loved, that I want to talk to you about. And let's have a really, really great 2026, Jill. What do you
Yes,
think?
I agree. You just called me Jill.
Oh my gosh, I did.
I feel like we need the backstory to this. So before we started, Francesca was like, so do you go by Jill or Jillian? Like, you're Jillian, right? I'm like, no, but all my friends call me Jill. And she's like, well, I feel like I need to earn this.
I got to earn that. I got to earn that.
For a
Yeah.
long podcast, you earned it.
You know what? What did it for me was the ticket story. That's what did it. And the fact that all this kind of transpired and was inspired from a glass of rosé after a major tournament. Like that's just real AF. That's real AF. All right, I'm gonna let you go. I just can't thank you enough for your time, Jillian Mele of lemonrosegolf.com. Tell Kristen that I said hey, give her a hug and kiss for me.
Thank
Until
you.
next time, Philly, keep it in the fairway. Thank you.